Hello there folks, Marshall here. Just a very quick heads up about the audio quality in this video. It's questionable. Having only just moved, there's a lot of peaking. Even though I did a sound test before recording, it seems I didn't realise the gains were all out of whack on my preamp having moved. Those are hopefully amended now, and going forward they won't be peaking quite so much and quite so embarrassingly. However, you will have these reverberations in the background because my room is massive. The ceilings are high. It's just going to be, a quirk that it's just going to be a fact of life. I'm trying to figure out a way of sort of hanging blankets around me to try and dampen it a little bit. But for the time being, that's going to be the audio quality. Hopefully that's not too much of an issue for you, but there you go. It's not ideal, but it's what we have. And I also have a new intro. Oh, hey! Isn't it good? I know. Just as everything's sort of packing up shop, but it came a little too late. Either way, hopefully you'll enjoy this game. It's a pretty decent one, actually. And I've got a few more coming as well. I've been submitted a few PA stats replays. So let's see what we can do with those over the coming days. Until then, enjoy. Hello there, folks. Marshall here with a 1 versus 1 that was submitted to me a little while ago, but because, of course, I was moving house, etc., etc., it took me a little while to get around to doing it. But here we are. We've got Pluto versus Disgrape. Disgrape in the previous tournament kind of fumbled just a little bit because of the change to the combat fabs. Of course, they cannot reclaim the com anymore, and that might have affected him. But down here in mint green, we've got Pluto with, I believe, is this what's called the command donut or whatever it's called, the command donut commander? Bots first, 1-1 with the commander over to the air factory there. 2-3 fabbers out, interestingly enough. That is rather curious, going over for all of that metal there, as you can see in the previews. Probably going to send 2 at the same time, just to get it built a little faster. Up here on the north, we've got Disgrape in, what do we call this? Pastel pink? Pastel pink, there we go. Or lavender. That's a nicer sounding thing, lavender. Only 2 fabs out for disc. Oh no, 3. There we go. I'm a little blind today. Fireflies out as well, probably from both teams. No Firefly out from... No Firefly out from Pluto then. Disc out with the Interceptor and the Firefly, equally moving the docks around here and there, just to maybe try and pick up some fabber kills. And a combat fab coming out from Disc up here. That'll be getting some of this Trico and will be a prime target for Pluto going forward. Should be noted that on this planet, Miso, there's all of this wonderful water around the back. And importantly, there's not only this island here with 8 metal, but there is this one with substantially more. Looks like 16 there. Just do the maths on that. That would be a substantial amount of metal. And oh my goodness, a fab was killed. Pluto manages to pick off one of Disc's fabs there. Rather nicely done. But yes, so maintaining air control to be able to get over to here is quite important. Equally, just sending over a fabber and dropping is quite nice. Or even getting a little bit of naval control can be really good. Players tend to get naval factories around this sort of region here. And then sort of expand out, because of course naval can be quite slow. It's one of those investments over the game rather than just an upfront thing. By the way, also just before we continue, you might have noticed that I sound different. Yes, my room has not got the best acoustics because I've no longer got to live in my bedroom. I actually have a place where I can have my computer outside of my bedroom now. So it just means that you've got this slight reverberation in the background. Hopefully it's not a deal breaker for you. Hopefully you can still enjoy the videos just as much. But there we go. So we've already got up to 7 interceptors there for Pluto. Disc coming in with 6 now on the 7th with the Firefly there as well, just for that extra vision. Bumblebee out as well for Pluto. We'll be looking for docks or Faber kills. And Bumblebee out for both teams. Air Fab is out for them as well. Substantially more for Pluto than for Disc. Pluto will be looking to go for all of that naval mechs by the look of it. And even set up a naval factory over there. That's also quite a pertinent strategy on this map. You see it a lot. Something else you see is, you know, just dropping or air fabs going around this sort of archipelago on the poles. Down goes the docks. That'll alert Disc to something perhaps going on over there, so we might want to go and scout, but he's going to need a little bit more air than that. How many factories has he got? 2, going on 3. He's got vehicle transition as well. Meanwhile, Pluto has got 3 already, and no vehicle transition, though we have got a pelter set up mid. Looks like possibly a naval factory up here as well, a proxy naval factory, if that is one from Pluto. Quite a potent tactic, that one. Oh, the air fabs! They're gone. Wonderful. Wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. Of course, with all these walls and turrets here protecting this metal, it's going to be all that important that those docks try and manage to take out those fabs. They're going to move in for it. They're going to try. They've got to get through those trees and get to that turret ASAP, because otherwise it's going to get completed, and they don't want that. They got to go for the fabs. They're not going to make it. Are they going to kill the fabs regardless? They don't get the second one. Only just does it survive. A little bit of miss micro there, I feel, from Disc. He probably could have moved in just that little bit earlier, especially considering he had vision there. Oh dear. That naval factory is not going to get completed. An air fab is rushing towards it. I think he might just keep it alive. It's going to be close. I don't know. Ooh, he is. He's just going to manage it. Oh, wow. In comes Disc, though. Takes it out instantly. Oh, well. Has to be said, though, Pluto with the air superiority at the moment. However, Disc moving into the T2 vehicles already. Pluto, meanwhile, going into T2 air. So we've got a little bit of a dichotomy here. We could have the strong vehicle push that Pluto has to try and withstand. And we've got the air superiority that is going to hamper Disc Rape's expansion over time. Furthermore, we've got the naval factory right here, which is going to cause some headaches for Disc. That's going to cause some real headaches for Disc going forward. Here comes some bumblebees. And the pelters. Oh dear. That has conveniently got rid of all that ground-based anti-air. Wonderful. Just got to get to that pelter, and then they can set up shop over here at mid. It's really what they need. Down it goes. Wonderful. Even get sight of that power storage, but the problem is now you got all these bumblebees here and not a lot of air from Disc. He's really got to make up for this. And, well, he manages to get a Galasta up. That's pretty neat. Managing to do that is commendable. T2 air, however, finished, as is the vehicles. And around the rest of the planet, we do have sort of semi-equal expansion, although it should be noted that Pluto has got the slight eco lead hit. And in comes the piranhas. Here we go. This is what I was talking about for the headache. These are going to have free reign over this coast, and it's probably going to force this commander to run back into the water and maybe set up a naval position, because otherwise this is going to do a lot of damage. You know, piranhas might look weak and feeble, but in big enough numbers they really do a number. As we can see here, this air factory is going to go down, and there's not a lot that Pluto's going to be able to, Disc is going to be able to do about it. That's significant. And of course, Pluto moving over into the water now as well, finally getting that naval factory over there, and going to be securing that plot of 16 mechs going forward. Air factory just survives, microing them back, however, to finish it off as they run away to regroup. Bringing in some narwhals for the anti-air protection, and probably next up with an orca, possibly even with a barracuda. But either way, it's not looking good for Disc. He has to sort it out. He's behind on power, he's behind on metal, but he does have a leveler out there in front. He's got some skitters following up as well, so if that can make a strong push, That really can make a strong push. The problem is going to be these Kestrels and the Phoenix, because the air superiority is really favouring Pluto right now. No matter how much raiding is going on here, the Kestrels are going to obsolete Doc's raids big time. They're just not going to be able to deal with it going forward. Equally, you've got to keep those levelers defended. The skitters are just a little bit too far back. In comes the air, though, from Disc. Where did this materialise from? The leveler survives. And, oh, wow, we've got a lot of hummingbirds all of a sudden. How many is that? 25 to 19 plus 3 Phoenix. So, really comparable. We need another air factory, though, from Disc, at least, possibly even 2, now that he knows that T2 Air is on the pitch. We've even got more T2 Air factories coming up as well now. The problem is, with these levelers pushing in, Disc has got to react with something. He's got a bunch of sparks coming out. Pluto, rather, has got to react with something. I'm mixing up my names today. Not good. Oh, wow. Did the air just vaporize? The air just disappeared. Oh, dear. Pluto. What happened? Something happened. That's not good, is it? That's really not good, but these sparks could do a number. They're slightly protected by this little outcropping here for the time being. But in they come. Oh dear. Levelers had to turn tail and run just to keep that under fire. There we go. And back in we go again. Meanwhile, look at all this expansion we've got. T2 naval. Oh dear. Kaijus and possibly some Leviathans, but more than likely just Kaijus. And then a bunch of T1 naval with all of the Barracudas, because the moment these Barracudas see this T2 naval, they're going to be all over it. That's a healthy number of Barracudas to go and deal with that T2 naval, and I'm not sure, even with Pluto's number of fabs here, that a lot can be done about it. Yes, he can put up a bunch of torpedo launchers, but how efficacious are those going to be? Down go the T2 fabs, and they see the T2 factories. They need to take them down pronto. The levelers should be alright at doing that. The factory is going to go down, though. There's not a lot that can save that, even with those fabs repairing it. That's not going to last. This leveler force here, though. There's only 4 levelers, but just look how potent it is. Down go the fabs. Every last one of them. The naval, though, for the commander, it needs to be noted that that commander is in a little potentially precarious situation. The Barracudas are there. The torpedo launchers are defending, but there's always a possibility for a surprise. You've got to think from the player's perspective. Boombot's finally coming out, ample to deal with the vehicles. This is where you need the Doc's entourage just to defend those levelers against such hard counters. In come the Barracudas, though. Are they moving in? They are not. They should be. What do we got up here for Disc? We've got expansion, which is nice, but Pluto out ahead, steaming ahead with 100 extra mechs. It's Pluto. And he is in the water, so these levelers are not going to get a comm kill today. They will wreck a base, though. And that's not to be understated. It gives Disc lead over the land, and now all he needs to do is move into the water. Pluto going to have to retreat and rebuild his T2 air. Here we go with these Barracudas. Unfortunately, as we can see, they did manage to kill off all those Barracudas with those fabs and torpedo launchers. He's going to need to realise that that's going to be something he needs to sort out. In comes the air, but even though with all those fabs, that's going to be some quick Galata setup. Don't forget that docks are also amphibious, so you can send them around to those islands. And the moment they get on land, they will be ready to start shooting at mechs, which is just what you want. Of course, it should be noted that currently a T2 airfab survives. That is important for Pluto. It means he's going to have the T2 eco going up. It means he's going to have fast factory reproduction. And it means that losing all those T2 factories is not too much of a dent. It's merely a delay. Yes, he's lost the land now, but he still has the T2. course, with these kaijus... Ooh. T2 naval up from disc now too. Wow. This commander... This is what I mean, you see, over here with this commander in this picture-in-picture. You can see 3 naval factories popped up. That's all it's going to take. Does Disc know about those? He doesn't. So when those Barracudas show up, here we go. He's going to see these factories now, and he's going to realise, oh dear, I need to deal with this. I need to get up some more factories. And in come the Barracudas to deal with that nicely. Okay, so at least he's aware of that. But this is a lot of potent naval over here. You need to get rid of these kaijus, sir, and Barracudas are not the tool for the job. You need air superiority, and preferably a lot of bombers or kestrels too. You don't want to lose this naval factory, however. Where did the fab go? There was still a naval fab alive, indeed. In comes the air, no bombers there. It's not going to hurt too much. Out comes a Stingray, and down it goes instantly. The Barracudas, of course, can merely watch. Not a lot can happen there. And, well... The tanks are now on land, unable to do much. They can be brought back to defend. Pluto evidently trying to get back into the air game. Still ahead with the expansion. Disc needs to start getting the T2 eco sorted. Aha, catapults. Ample. Wonderful choice for defense. Catapults will be glorious. Look at that. Popping kaijus rather quickly, it should be noted. But this naval installation now, with 5 naval factories, plus a T2, plus a 6th down here, that's going to be hard to break, even with all of these Barracudas in a blob, because you've got all of these wonderful torpedo launchers. Disc needs to think of the next stage of this game, and just what is it going to bring. Here we go, lobs, this is what I mean. Docks, that's all you need. Lobs in the water too! Ah, both teams going for lobs, but this metal here, this is Pluto's eco store. If Disc can damage that, or indeed this island stuff down here, we definitely end with another fighting chance. The commander, though, kind of a little risky over here. Should be noted, it's not great to have your commander sat there like that, you know. Oh, where is he? He's in there somewhere. I don't know. Ooh. There he is. There you go. You can see all of that being shot. And the main picture anyway. Air coming out, Kestrels too, that'll help with the defense of the commander, but the does need to back off just a little bit. Kaiju's still a problem. Barracuda's electing, instead of taking on the naval base, going around and hampering the eco. Just what I thought would be great. Ooh. Ha! That's funny. The air from Pluto, which is substantial, it has to be said. 46 and 3 for Phoenix. Ooh. Oh dear. Looks like that lob's going to get finished. 46 and 3 plays off against, how many is here? 99 and 7. Ha! So Disc is definitely back in the game. The eco raid there has brought him a little bit back in line. As soon as Disc really starts hampering on this T2, it should be fine. Needs an advanced torpedo launcher, I feel. So we've got T2 Fabs a little busy up on the North Pole. It's all about the naval right now. All about the naval. The air trade is a thing. Down goes Pluto's Air Force. What a total wipeout. What are we going to get in this game going forward? We're going to... It's just so many air factories that need to be built here. Tanks on the coastline as well. Lots of T2 air factories. Reactive T2 air factory somewhere. There we go, 3 of them. Blimey. And imagine playing this. You've just got to be aware of this naval. You've got to be aware of this naval. You've got to be aware of the air. You've got to be aware of defending your fabbers. You've got to be aware of raiding. Just think about how much work these players are having to do right now. And we're getting Krakens! Ah! What is this game? Perhaps Krakens will be used to get rid of the coastal mechs. I don't know. These dogs, though. Ah! I really want to just be lumped into a big old lot in the water. And build up the numbers and then move in. But there we go. Commander a little weak now, though, for Disc and this force of Barracudas. Wowza. 32, no less. And we've got a lot of catapults up here, but no torpedo launchers. We've got an advanced one here, but how is that going to work when you got shallows? And the torpedoes can't really deal with shallows. There we go. It's an advanced torpedo launcher. 2 of them. The Barracudas are going to drop like flies. Not after they've killed off a fair bit of eco, though. Out comes Leviathan. Will it survive this? That's the question. I don't think it will here. The Barracudas are targeting it down, and that was a lost Barracuda. That was unfortunate timing to come out of the dockyard. More pressing on the commander on the other side, and now he's looking rather surrounded. Yes, there's a lot of torpedo launchers here, but he's still taking damage over time. It's not looking good for him. He's down to 55%. And Pluto's eco is still growing. Kaiju's pushing in from the other coastline now too, especially now that the catapults are gone. They have free reign. The vehicle factory has ceased production a long time ago. Pluto's commander yet to take a little scratch to the paintwork. And Kestrels are all that's really left to defend against this. Not looking good at all. Pluto, though, stalling metal a little bit. Disc floating substantially. Needs to be spending more of it, but he is building more and more air factories, and I think they're starting to pay off. Disc's air is starting to struggle. What do we got? We've got 12 and 4 against 20 and 2. It's pretty much even Stevens. But with the Phoenix there, they do make the difference. In they come again for a second pass. Another trade is going to happen. But Disc's air is now on the rocks, so to speak, in a naval game. That eco difference, though, has just been Disc's trouble all game. He has not been able to break this bastion over here, and that is what's keeping Pluto afloat, as is all of this in the water that just has not been raided whatsoever. A few piranhas would have done swimmingly. Ha ha ha. Water pun. Number 2. What a pun. Number 3. Oh dear. Right. But can Disc pull something out of the bag here? I'm not sure. He's got plenty enough eco in the float there. Number 4. But you know, there's good choice. Wonderful choice. Bringing in those levelers. Don't really have range of the rest of it, but still. Maybe send a piranha, just pop it down on the land over there. Would be great. The air is regrouping. What's the air like for Pluto now? Oh my word, that's scary. That's a scary amount of air. Most certainly. The Barracuda's here again. See, not doing any raiding. They're just sat there. There's T2 metal up here to be raided. There's T2 metal. That's 25 metal that could be gone. It is 25, isn't it? 24. 25 is Legion. Wait, no. What? No, it is 20. Where? I don't know what I'm on about. I've forgotten my numbers, but there we go. What do you expect? The air is the problem. Kaijus are the problem. The Barracudas are the problem. The eco is the problem, and I don't think Disc has the solution. He doesn't have the factory counts. Into the army tab there, we can see factories 12 behind. Faber's a little bit behind as well. Mobile units, however, really show the overall picture. 80 to 200. There's not a lot to be done there. You see here, these Kestrels would be great to be taking down these torpedo launchers. Instead, they're picking away at T1 power. That's not going to do anything. In comes another wave of Barracudas. Number 5. Oh my goodness. The air trades are a thing. Down go the T2 Fabs. No air factories for you, sir, says Pluto. And over the base they fly. Commander's still a little bit weak up on that North Pole, down to 50%, and Disc has just not had anything, youch, other than defensive play all game. There's the GG. His air was gobbled. His coast blockaded. His base obsoleted. That was that game. Well played to Pluto. Unfortunately, commiserations to Disc. There we go. Well, hope you enjoyed that game, folks. Again, apologies for the change in sound. If you don't like it, well, tough. That's what's going to happen now. Don't forget to stick around for more PA on the way very, very soon indeed. I've been Marshall. Thank you very, very much for watching, and have a nice day.